Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of an Hour MaXX with Max. And today's quote of the day is: two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe or we are not. Both are equally terrifying. Arthur C. Clarke, with an E at the end. Welcome back, y'all. Today's a little bit different. This episode's a little bit different. This is the Alien UFO special. And today I'm feeling ready. I'm feeling ready. Really ready. I've been tabbed out. I've been asked to tabbed out for a couple days. Mine's going everywhere. Yesterday was 4th of July. Yay. And guess what I did? I tripped down and watched a little bit of Independence Day. I want to believe. And I'm feeling good today. Got a lot of sleep. Had a dream with the same reoccurring guest 3 times in a row. Hey, that's what life is. Sometimes you have special guests, and I don't question my subconscious, just like I don't question that we are not alone. We are not alone. Today I have my homie on today, Progress on the bass. You might recognize him from either our bass and bars, our music together, or better yet, 30 minutes or less, and the 15-minute leftovers. We co-hosting over there. And in a minute, I'm going to call him up, bring him on the line, and we're going to fucking do this. We're going to deep dive and just have a nice little fun back and forth convo about aliens, UFO, etc. Because, even though the homie is in Texas, we both somehow synced up and watched Independence Day without even telling each other. I found out today when I talked to him. I was like, yo, I just tripped out and watched Independence Day with my doggo in the room with the windows open watching the fireworks go kaboom. And it was a vibe. I was in pitch black dark, couldn't find it on TV, had to watch it on my computer. Ah, man, what a movie. But anyway, enough about that. Let me bring on my special guest, and we'll continue this.
All right.
Aaron, and we back with Progress on the bass. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's
That's
it
right,
hanging?
y'all. I'm here.
How's that hanging, dog?
I'm
Fresh
chilling,
off
man.
of
Just fucking.
Independence Day.
Yeah, man. Shaking off this hangover, dude, because I drank hell tequila from America yesterday. You know?
That tequila
As you
could
do.
kill you. Gotta be careful.
You got to, bro. What
Gotta
the
be
fuck?
careful with that, man. So,
You gotta
Man.
fucking. You gotta remember the day fucking Will Smith saved the world.
with the dude from Jurassic Park. Not only did he save the day from Jurassic Park, that other dude, Goldblum? Jeff Goldblum? That's his name? I think
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
Saved the day.
Yeah, him and
From dinosaurs and aliens.
so I'm saying this is what he was before. If he was never in the Men in Black, this is what would have happened.
Oh yeah, this is what happened. This was the movie before Men in Black. Apparently, he couldn't be a part of NASA or anything because he was dating a stripper, aka Vivica Fox's fine ass.
Yeah. No, I know, right? Isn't that? It was hella funny when I was watching it. I forgot that she was a stripper in that movie. Right?
Me too.
Like, I
didn't
always
remember
forget that
scene.
part.
That scene when he's talking to the first lady.
No,
But then
yeah.
She reminds you. She's like, "You dance ballet? Nah, exotic."
Yeah. Nah, exotic.
Exotic, huh?
And she just instantly she was like, "Oh, fucking piece of shit."
I was tossing ass around before TikTok.
Yeah, man.
Oh God.
No, but yeah, man.
Dude, yeah, man. Can't believe we watched that. Can't believe it was real. I still do to this day believe that is the realest response we'll ever get from like the world, because the whole world worked on it. I even remember that. I remember like it was like Iraq had seen some shit, some other places seen some shit, and they were like they didn't know what to do. They had them lost tribes in the end, all fucking cheering and shit, probably throwing spears at the fucking at the spaceship and not getting through.
Well, yeah,
But
because it was the only
man, what
it
a
was the only
fucking
time
movie.
in the world where it wasn't about like country versus country. It was like they're all fighting the same enemy. It all happened at the same time. So like you gotta think
Yeah,
about how devastating it was. It was like I watched the movie since we watched the movie yesterday. I remember that they were like, all right, so there's a big ass fucking alien ship over 52 cities in the world, all major cities, you know. So
synced up
as
around
soon,
the world. Yeah, knocking out
yeah, and then
satellites and
like
shit.
not only that, just like all the other devastation. Because remember they were like on the news like right when they fucking arrived. Or like remember at first they didn't even know what it was. And then finally like the storm cleared up or whatever, and it showed it was just like a big ass spaceship. And the dude was like, "Oh yeah, there's been 10,000 fucking like crashes in the span of like 15 minutes." You know, and you
Damn.
gotta think about you gotta double that, and then you got people robbing each other. I'm pretty sure looting each other and shit like that. Because you know, mass hysteria is real,
Oh
dude.
yeah, I'm for sure
Whenever
looting. I'm
that
looting.
so, I mean, you haven't really we haven't talked about what the subject is for this episode, but get into it. I mean, mass hysteria back in the day when I think that guy Orson Welles, I might be wrong on the name. I know that
Yeah.
dude's like a fucking writer. He wrote I think War of the Worlds. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just about to look. I was literally before I called you. I was just about to look that shit up. 'Cause I think what it all happened like
Yeah. Well,
1957 or some shit like that. I think I was just about to look it up. I
well,
didn't get too much into it. Elaborate.
yeah. Well, all it was is essentially he wrote a book called War of the Worlds. It's about like aliens coming and then you know, doing dirt, and then just like Independence Day, but we figure out a way to kill him and shit. Anyways, he read that book on the radio one time, right?
Hey. Okay.
And
You mean like Reddit?
he read that
Like the whole
he
thing?
read it on because back in the day it wasn't like
Damn.
there wasn't shit you could just go on to. So he read it on the radio, and then motherfuckers thought
Yeah,
it
it was
was
talk
real,
radio.
huh?
Oh shit.
Yeah,
No,
because
no, I didn't know that.
he wrote the
I didn't know
book
that.
like how you would read it out, so it would be like more dramatic. So he played like a radio DJ talking about like people evacuate and like shit's bad and motherfuckers are getting killed everywhere and everything like that, or some shit like that. And everyone got freaked out, and a bunch of people thought it was real. That's how fast like mass hysteria would be, because like especially like with our phones, all we would have to do is see a video of like a city getting blown up like on Independence Day, or not even a video, just know that fucking Los Angeles has been completely flattened by a fucking alien spaceship. Like everyone's dead. You'd be
I mean,
freaking the
shit.
fuck
It
out.
feels like that. It
You
feels
know?
like that already happens. It already happens now. I
Yeah.
feel like through Instagram, social media, people have alternative motives or some shit like that. Just like posting a whole bunch of shit. Like there's so many facts getting tossed around like footballs during a fucking Super Bowl game with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Man, they're just like slinging bullshit as facts and they're decorating it and calling it the truth. Like you heard that shit about. I mean, it's a little off topic when they're talking about fucking what was that deaf, blind, kind of mentally challenged chick who couldn't do anything. For her name, Helen
Uh-huh.
Keller. They're talking about like, oh, it's impossible for her to fly a plane and write a book. I'm like, hey, that's not too far fetched, you know? You believe in
Yeah.
God, right? I mean, come on,
Yeah.
come on now. But back to the aliens,
The,
it's like I feel like with the movies, with movies and all shit like that, it kind of like sinks into our brain as it's gonna be fake. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's
well,
hard
that's
to
what I'm
just
saying.
judge anything at face value.
Yeah, the first
No go.
time. I mean, I personally like since we're talking about this right now, is I'm personally like I think there is aliens and shit. Like, I don't think that they're as
We believe.
they're not as sci-fi as everyone thinks. It's more. I really do think it's more of like interdimensional being and everything like that. But that's beside the point. I know that they're like real and shit because there's like too many like factors that we'll get into like in the stories that we're gonna talk about that make it seem like it's just like too crazy to be like fucking like fake. But and then I don't know. And earlier you sent me
It's
that
like
thing
half the world believes in it. Is half the world into
that's
it?
saying that
Is half the
like
world
most of
trying
the
to con
UFO.
us?
Uh huh. Most people. It said that like most of the UFO sightings are like here and then Europe. But that's bullshit, bro.
Yeah,
That fucking
I
chart
heard
was
that.
stupid because I was like, that's the most bullshit thing I've ever heard in my life. Just don't report it. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah,
like
they
that.
don't report it
Yeah.
at all.
So, yeah, they're just like, all right, we seen that. Like, okay, they're. I'm not gonna. Who am I gonna talk to? I don't got a fucking phone. You know what I'm saying? So like, what the fuck? Yeah,
No,
there's probably
or
fucking.
they do, and they just never log it into the computer. They're like, we're not gonna log it. Oh, you saw something over your house? Okay, yeah, okay. Everything you just said's off the record. That
Oh,
sounds like
did
bull.
it
Yeah, we
attack you?
know
No.
about it. We know
You
about
know
it.
what I'm saying? Did it fuck up
Did you
something
die?
in the city?
Yeah.
No. No. Did it just fly over your
Did
house?
it touch
Yeah.
you
All right. Well, shut
sexually?
up. You know.
Oh man, yeah, dude. It's just so much. There's so much out there to like. How could you not believe? You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like you should believe. I feel people should start believing in everything until
Well,
it's
it's like one of
proven
those things. It's just
the
like,
opposite. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no. The problem is, it's like you really can't prove shit nowadays. Just saying it, you know. Even if you're like an eyewitness, like being an eyewitness, viewer doesn't really mean shit no more. Even if you like, because people be like, oh, there's
Yeah,
never any like video
we lost
footage, like
trust.
all this shit. I'm like, yeah, there's not.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Like, but even if there was,
Cause everything,
like, I remember that's
everything
how
could be faked now.
a few years back, I was talking to somebody about this shit, and I was like, look, man, you say you don't believe in UFOs, blah blah blah. But let me tell you this: if for some reason, like in a scenario, if I had verifiable evidence of a UFO, say like I'm just in my backyard and I don't have a regular camera, I got a fucking fully HD, you know, like 100% resolution, you know, no
Yeah.
bullshit, you know, not a fucking, and I'm steady with it. I'm not all fucking running like it's a fucking you know, world star fight and shit. Like no, like I see it, you know.
You're
And
holding it
it
vertical
lands.
in movie mode.
I see it come from the sky. I see it come
Landscape.
down. I see it land. I see it do. I see the thing come out. The whole damn shabam.
Do a little flippy flippy with your camera, and don't shake.
No,
Cameraman never
no.
dies.
That's what I'm
Don't
saying.
shake.
No. That's what I'm saying. Even if I
Yeah.
have that and I show it to you, you won't believe it. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't
Because
believe it
everyone,
because you
yeah,
wouldn't want to.
'cause
You wouldn't
like
want to
we
be
see
like,
movies.
no, you'd be like, oh, you did that. That's like a CGI of some sort, or that's some type of thing. And then even if, fuck,
That's edited. That's photoshopped.
you know, it's a guy.
Man.
That's a guy. Yeah, that's the whole point. It's like now we've all been desensitized through like media and like movies and shit to like not really think it's real. But that's like
Movies.
beyond the point. Even if they are real, like what do you think? Like what are you gonna do about it? So the fuck what? Like you know what I mean? Like accept it. You know, like that's why
You're
most
gonna just
people be like,
accept
"Oh,
your
they're all real,
fate.
so what?"
Accept your fate. It's
Well,
all-
I mean,
yeah,
the
man,
fate
it's
is
like,
just knowing that, like,
it's
what are you
like-
gonna do about it? Are you gonna go fight him? You know, or are you gonna what are you gonna do?
it's like
You're gonna
risk.
protest?
No, it's
What
like, are you gonna
do?
risk your whole life?
Talk to fucking Congress,
imagine
bro? Who
you
cares?
got
Like, what are they gonna do?
abducted.
Like, all right, they're real.
Yeah.
What's up? So what? You're gonna be like,
That's what I'm saying.
well,
UFO. You don't believe in
to work in the morning,
UFOs.
huh?
No, I said you don't believe in UFOs, but they believe in you. And it's like, ain't nobody gonna believe you though when you tell them. Like you said, like what you just were about to go on to about you gotta wake up in the morning. So what?
Yeah.
You got abducted. You had some blood
Like,
work.
what
you
does
got
that do?
fucked
What
by
does
an
that change
alien,
for
and
you?
there's 2 dots under your head. You're good.
And I think that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Like,
How does this
it's
help?
Not like it's not even that like people don't want to believe. It's just like what is it going to change in their life? Like you know what I'm saying? And I think that's why now the government and shit like now they feel like everyone's so like fucking desensitized and they have our minds exactly where we want it. So now they're telling us shit and we don't care. You know what I'm saying? They're like pros. You know they're like all
Yeah,
right,
they're
well
releasing
this is
info.
real now.
They're
And then we're
declassifying
like,
a whole bunch
so
of shit.
I got
They're
work tomorrow.
declassifying every government thing.
I got
No,
work tomorrow,
they're
bro. I
declassing
can't.
everything, man. They're declassifying.
Yeah,
Like,
and it
there's too
doesn't
much
matter because it's
information
just like,
out there now that nobody cares.
well, so much shit's coming out right now. It's like a perfect storm. So what it is right now is that I think they waited all this time and like classified shit and like hid shit from the world that right now they're spewing it all at once. So you don't really know what to take serious and what you don't really know what to care about. So it's like, all right, there's aliens. Okay, like we killed JFK. Okay, all this. We did that. We did this. We did that. We did CIA shit.
How
We
does this
did
help me
this.
pay my bills?
So now it's like, what do we care about the most? Bud Light. You know? Like, what's America's next beer? You know what I'm saying? It's like, because it doesn't, that actually matters right now. You know? That's something we can worry about. But, like,
Yeah,
other
pronouns.
shit, it's like people don't want to fucking worry about that shit, bro. What's the immediate things right now that we have to worry about? That's like the definition of keeping everyone, like, just, like, in all reality distracted, because I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, they're declassifying shit. But they're just dropping it. It's not like they're on the news like, yeah, there's aliens. Oh, no. You could go look it up. But you're not gonna. You ain't got fucking time. You gotta fucking pick up the eggs.
You got the
You
internet.
know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
gotta cut
connect
your
the dots
grass.
yourself. Connect the dots yourself.
But no one has time for that shit. Why?
Learn how to
why,
believe.
Why would you? Why does an average fucking Joe have to fucking put together the fucking question if there's people out there in the universe? Why? The fuck's he
Because
gonna do
they
about it?
ain't gonna do shit. Ain't shit gonna be done by that
That's
person.
what I mean. Like,
It's not.
no, but
Man,
you know what I mean. Like,
it sucks.
no, the average
It sucks because
fucking
it could be
Joe,
a
bro,
really
isn't
big
even worried
problem.
about that shit, bro. So even if you propose it to him, he just doesn't care. It's like and I think that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's like that's where they drop in all information now. Oh yeah, that we did that. That's true. That we did that, and then he says we did it, and you're like so fucking distracted by the other shit that you're like, oh, who cares about that? You know?
Man, yeah. It's just
And-
it's a lot to take in for the average Joe and Jonette. You know.
Well,
It's
it's
a lot
just because
harder.
it's like, no, yeah. I mean, out of all the fucking, this is the time in the world where it's like, out of all, we're like super content. We just had the pandemic, which was like a test, in my opinion, of like how they could control us, like how fast things could happen. You know what I mean?
How good of listeners we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for real. Like that was a test and shit because they were like, well, all right, we'll bust out this alien shit to see how much we could spew out without rocking the boat. And then they were talking about that the submarine thing was a big ass distraction. That like a whole bunch of like emails got fucking released and then leaked and then like no released and deleted. You know, there were like 150,000 emails for the Epstein trial and all this shit. Like were finally released to the public with all this shit lists and everything. But then somehow all
Where's
deleted.
Maxwell? Where's Maxwell?
Yeah, it was like on some
Where's
shit like.
Where's Ghislaine Maxwell?
They're like, all right,
Forgot
man.
about her?
And I really do believe that like those dudes that went in that stupid submarine shit, they didn't even die. This was Titanic 2.
Ooh.
Because it was pretty much the same thing. In
Oh,
Titanic,
I see where
where,
you're
like,
going with this.
They could have just faked their death and been like, look, man, you're already a billionaire. Like, what if like no one knew who you were, but you still were a billionaire? What? And
he
you
took
got
his
these
son with him?
people- And then the other people, yeah, his son, exactly that one dude. You know what I mean? It was how it was like one of those things. It's like, yeah, fake their death. The government reallocates your money, and then for a whole week they could like run that in the snooze, distract everybody. For like a whole week, we all talked about that. We
The
laughed
real
about
ship
it.
that had people on it. You heard about
How
that
many
one?
jokes did you see? How many memes did you see? How many people were distracted by the dumbest?
There's
thing
so many memes.
that
So many memes happened so fast. It was like it was kind of heartless if it was true. It was like, dude, these memes are coming out while they're still searching for them actively. And
Well,
like the
that's
whole
the
time,
whole
like you were saying
point.
about the whole distraction, is like there was a ship. There was a ship carrying a bunch of like I guess like migrants or some bullshit like that. Like 200, 300.
Yeah.
I guess a ship just sunk and like a lot of them died, but they got no
All of
no
them
media
died.
attention because we're all focused on this submarine. Yeah, see?
Well,
There you
yeah,
go.
because
Damn.
like you gotta think about it.
Damn.
Like if these, that's what I'm saying. The guy said it the best. He's like, they only had I think like 9 hours worth of oxygen. So the first day they got
Mm-hmm.
lost. They were dead. They didn't have to keep running the story, but they were trying to say, "Oh, we're trying to find them," you know. So they instantly
No,
knew that the
yeah.
story was
No,
dead.
I
All right,
mean,
these fools died instantly, even if it was real, like you said. But I really think it's more likely that like they set this up as a thing. It's like, to distract people from other information. That's what I was saying. It's like, what do? You say, all right, bro, I'm gonna fucking spill the beans and all this shit, and then right when I spill the beans, a fucking story totally has nothing to do with my story pops up and takes everyone's attention.
doesn't even pick up your beans. Doesn't even pick up your beans you spilled. That's the
No one
fucked
even
up part.
seen it.
You spill the
No one
beans
even
and they
seen
don't
it.
even pick it
The
up.
beans are on the floor, but no
I
one
didn't
cares.
see about that thing until
You know
3
what I'm saying?
What? There's
They left the fucking
frijoles
room, bro.
all
They don't
over
give.
the floor, eh?
Yeah, because it doesn't matter anymore. You know what I'm saying? And like,
That
it doesn't
fucking,
matter anymore.
that
That's why
fucking
like
submarine sunk within the first 2 hours, bro. First 2 hours, that shit sunk. It
yeah, no,
imploded.
it was this.
Like,
They,
dude,
they, they said it imploded. All this
we
shit.
knew it. It feels like.
But everyone was making. What was everyone talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, they used a game fucking controller to fucking use them. I'm like, that doesn't really matter. That's a little fucking detail
Oh.
that the people ran with. I seen like a fucking bunch of shit on Instagram talking about like fucking the submarine they used the Logitech fucking controller. I was like, so? But I was wondering on why they were
Yeah,
tripping
all
on that
fucking
detail
armies
so
use
much.
that.
But I'm like, it was all over my feed. I didn't look for the. I didn't even care until people started talking about it at work. And obviously, your phone's just listening to
Same.
you.
So I saw the jokes.
Just fucking. Right?
I saw the jokes and I didn't want to laugh,
hearing
but
everyone talking about it.
some of
Hey,
them
man,
got me.
you hear about the submarine? And I walk into another room. Hey, man, I heard that they fucking they died. They're already dead. All this shit. And then you heard like, oh no, they're saying that they got like some like noise thing. It was like, yeah, but it was a weird
Yeah,
thing.
they heard the
And I
little bang
remember-
bangs and all that shit.
Yeah, and it was like a weird thing that just like shouldn't
yeah.
have been as like. It's like there's no news that's worth like that people care about right now. They need something exciting and shit, So this was definitely like an overblown thing.
I thought the alien news was pretty. I thought the aliens were pretty exciting in Vegas. The aliens
Well,
in Vegas,
no,
I
that's
thought
what
that
I'm
was the
saying.
biggest news of the year.
That's not.
But
Yeah,
this,
but that's not
this,
whoever's controlling the news, bro. Like they can more care about like views and ads and shit, and then they have to be in the cahoots with like the government because it's like that's what government does. There's no real freedom of press. There's always suppression.
that fucked up many years ago. That fucked up with the Tupacs and the MLKs and all that types of shit. That you can't just be out there willy nilly just spreading freedom and advocating for peace because that's not profitable. Peace is not profitable. War brings
No,
some
it's not.
Benjamins in. Scare
No,
tactics and false flags and all that shit like that.
Well, no, yeah, and then
But,
that's
dude,
what I'm saying.
the fucking,
The whole
The
agenda
fucking
now.
Las Vegas aliens, man. That's the real story. How come nobody focused on this? We got David Grusha over here, fucking the high-profile whistleblower, telling us all this information that's backed up with a fucking very, very, very good career of his. He's a very well-known person. He was at the top of his position in the, he was probably up there doing some shady, some Independence Day type shit.
Yeah.
And he's just on the record in an interview on a national news syndicate talking about, oh yeah, sometimes we run into UFOs, and when there's crashed UFOs and shit like that, sometimes you see dead pilots. And then he says some other shit when the guy was interviewing him, asking him has anybody ever died, has an alien ever killed one of the army people type shit. And he's like, I can't really go into that, but we have our techniques and ways around to get them down and all that type of shit. I was like, oh, so that's a yes. So you lost some people in some alien fights, what I'm saying? It's getting zapped out the sky. Dude, I don't know what compelled him to go on TV and say all this shit, because it feels like he's going to get a bullet in the head. Unless he's in on it, or he's just he's like a Michael Weston or some shit with burn notice, and he just knows how to protect himself. And he's like, fuck it, I have nothing else to risk. The world's about to end anyway. Like, might as well go fucking tell him the truth.
Well, no, it all
Yeah.
started. I think.
I think that was a big deal.
Well, I mean, I think the thing is like the whole Las Vegas one. That's why I felt like this whole submarine thing was kind of a scramble. Like it was fast, you know. Like you gotta think
Yeah.
about it. Someone's just like, look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get some billionaires and be like, look, we're gonna fucking keep. I'm like, you're gonna fake your death. We're gonna take care of you. You're gonna be billionaires still. You know, we're gonna put you somewhere, and we're
Different
gonna do that whole
names.
fucking face thing
Yeah.
where they change your face and shit. You know, and like totally
Where they
change your
take your
shit. Like
face
you know, they have the
off.
technology to do that. Like fucking like on that
Oh,
one
I
movie. What
bet.
was that one movie? Once Upon a Time in Mexico, where
Face
the
off.
dude like had like
Oh,
totally
I was
he had a bunch of surgeries to change his face. So he at the last
oh
surgery would
shit.
totally change his face where he would just look like someone else. But he faked.
Oh
his
yeah, you
death.
know
That was the
they
whole
have that
point.
technology in Dubai. They have that in
Yeah,
Dubai.
no, they have that
You
technology
guarantee
like
that.
nothing.
He has
That's
enough
like
money for that.
that's not even like a like you know that's a you know you've seen plastic surgeries and shit, bro. You've seen like real busted ass motherfuckers look
Oh yeah.
hella fucking dope after the. But that's what I'm saying. So okay, in
I mean,
2018.
you seen Shooting Aces? I think
Yeah, exactly,
same shit almost.
exactly.
When he changes faces and shit, the bad guy. Yeah. I
No,
got
yeah.
you.
So
And that was
in
back then
2018,
too, with just highly skilled. Yeah. Continue.
no, yeah, this dude named he's the Israeli military intelligence. He was like the chief science engineer in the space program in Israel, and he talked about like he was like he's old as fuck, you know. So he was just like, oh yeah, there's aliens and shit. Like Trump like fucking has something to do with like talking to him all this bullshit. But he released some shit, and then like Russia around the same time was like, yeah, you like the U.S. has like this like weird ass alien treaty type thing that was erected back in the day, like with one. There was a president that like you know during like you know what's it called like Area 51 times and
Probably the one that
shit.
got assassinated. Yeah.
No, not
What, Norm
Kennedy.
Nixon, probably?
No,
Norm?
it was someone else. I forgot who it was. Anyways, he pretty much like made it like deal with these aliens. Like there was a certain point where like we were testing nuclear weapons and shit and testing all bunch of shit. It was during the Cold War, and I don't know what happened, but like I don't know if the aliens came to
Yeah.
us or if the alien came to them. More likely that they were already coming. They were fucking with both of us, but then they were like, "All right, you have the bombs. You guys have the bombs. You got to stop using them bombs. You got to stop. Like you got to stop using these bombs. Like these are gonna destroy this whole world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they made it,
Dude,
and it was a whole treaty
anytime,
thing.
like, it's around 47, right? Around Roswell.
Yeah.
I
So
think. Around
yeah,
Roswell, right?
and they had like made a treaty, and in the U.S. there's a bunch of like military bases that have aliens in them. Like it's a whole fucking thing. It's about like it's this whole secret thing where it's like yeah, like Bob Lazar. I don't know if you ever heard that name.
Oh, yeah, he's a known.
Yeah, Bob Lazar is like a
Well, yeah, I'm familiar with Bob.
yeah.
Mr. Lazar.
He was one of the first like whistleblowers to talk about like these DUMBs, deep underground military bases. I don't know if you're.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So he
No,
worked.
I haven't heard about
Yeah,
that.
so they're called DUMBs. I know they sound stupid, but DUMBs are became
Sounds dumb.
yeah became very like by the '60s there was already so many of these. So there's just deep, like I said, deep underground military bases, but there's like levels and shit, right? And these shit go like fucking hundreds and hundreds of stories down underground, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? And this fool was talking
Yeah.
about he was an engineer, a fucking aeronautical engineer, which was like you know like space shit, like space and shit, and like he was brought in, and for like years he was working at this base, and he knew there was lower levels, but he wasn't like he didn't have the clearance for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so you know you're in the when you're in the army and you're in that type of shit, you don't ask questions. about what's in the lower levels. That's like classified. That's need to know. You don't need to know. So Bob Lazar,
That's on a need to know
yeah, yeah, you know
basis.
what I'm saying? You don't need to fucking know. And finally they were like, hey,
Plausible deniability.
he goes, hey,
Just like an Independence Day, it was like, why you didn't tell the president? We didn't tell you, president, because it's
that's not
plausible
that's
deniability.
not quite true.
Because think about it, Trump would have spilled the beans.
Oh, no, yeah.
And we would have been all over them beans. Oh, they probably just didn't tell him. They don't tell him or Biden. They probably don't tell none of the new
Bro,
presidents
if his
no more.
dumb
I
ass
think
would have
Obama
spilled the
was probably
beans,
the
they would
last
have just
person
shot
to
him with
know.
a heart attack gun. His fat ass would have died on the spot. Boom. Cardiac
But
arrest.
would we have believed him? Though?
No. See,
would we
no,
believe
that's what I'm
him?
saying. Some
See?
people
'Cause
would,
it's Trump.
but some
It's
people,
fake news.
just because it's
Fake
him,
news.
wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? And that's a problem too.
Damn.
You know, but
Damn.
like I was saying,
It's like they group together like flat earthers and alien people and conspiracy theories and all that shit and cryptoids. They link all that was like, oh, you're just crazy.
no, yeah. Well, that's the
crack
easiest way to
smoker?
do it, dude. Because if you're the only one that's seen it, you're the only one that believes it. You can't spread the news like they can. If you try to fucking go to a news, they're gonna shut that down. They're not gonna let it spread, yeah, because they control everything like that.
Right.
But so that's what I was saying. So Bob Lazar
1000%.
was working at this one of these dumbs and shit, right? And what happened was he was working on some shit. He was getting shit done, and they were like, "Yo, you're like super fucking smart, like we need you to do something else. We're gonna go to a lower level." So he's like, "All right, for sure, fucking, you're paying me money, you know what I mean? Let's get down." This motherfucker is like, all right, so we going down this fucking elevator type thingy, right? But he's like, but this time, there's armed guards. And he's like, why is there armed guards?
Damn.
Why are there soldiers with like full machine gun?
Yeah.
Why are they armored up? What the fuck is going on? And he's like, well, these lower level shits have, they're like different from the higher level shits. And then, vague. They were talking to him vague, because they weren't. It's kind of like one of those things. You're not going to just tell someone, all right, we're going to go down to this level where there's fucking aliens. They're not going to say that, They're not going to be like, oh, yeah, we're going to go, and you're just going to see some aliens and shit. And, hey, and if they're in a good mood, they're going to be chilling. If they're in a bad, they might fucking try to shoot us. And we got to shoot back. And it's like, what? You couldn't give that information to someone. You would have to trick them. Be like, look, don't fucking talk about what's going to go down here. We're going to go do something. That's it. And they go down.
Keep it to yourself.
And it's just like they go down. They have Marines, Navy SEAL cats, like real fucking, the real McCoy. You know what I'm saying? Like real motherfuckers, bro. Not some bullshit cats. So they go down there and everything's cool. And then boom, they see fucking alien. Big, tall motherfucker. Tall. I think the tall whites.
Scary.
They're called something.
I'll shoot it right now.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different types.
Not the tall whites or the good guys.
No, but
the tall whites are the good guys.
No.
The grays. Maybe.
No, they're good guys, but they're hostile still. They're like super protective of their offspring.
Damn.
They live hella days.
Damn.
There's he talked about all this. It's like a good documentary where he like explains everything and like verbatim. And so like
the tall whites.
Yeah, so he started going down there and he was working on like shit with them. And like he's like not even like flinching. He's like talking about this like if you wanted to go start another job. You know what I'm saying? So I started a job at he was straight talking about it like that, like, oh yeah, me and these dudes were working on this thing, this like special project, blah 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 this, and then I got to see the tall whites and I got to see the females, the males, the kids and shit,
Yeah.
So this guy's telling this crazy fucking story, bro. Already it sounds crazy. But so one day...
Sounds like a video game.
Yeah.
Sounds like a movie.
So every single time he goes down, he has to be escorted with military, with guns, always armed. One day, I guess something happens, and he accidentally, hits one of the kids or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not on purpose. Like, something's going on, and he, trips or some shit and, slaps...
No, kids being kids.
Well, they're aliens, too.
I don't got no games
No, yeah. Something happens, and he hit...
No games.
And then, one of them freaks the fuck out. Because, apparently, they're, they constantly like telling humans about how like we hella don't know how to raise our youth or some shit. Anyways, he accidentally hits one of the kids. One of the motherfuckers flips out, fucking pulls out a fucking blicky on one of us. One of our army dudes goes off and is like, back the fuck up, you know, and boom, starts going on some shit. Motherfucking Marines are getting killed. They get shooting them with laser guns and shit on some craziness. This motherfucking dude, Bob Lazar,
NBA YoungBoy, the whole situation.
They're running away and shit, and
sprayed the whole building.
And this fucking one Marine is like, fucking, you know, doing dirt, killing motherfuckers, blah 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 blah, you know, fucking blah 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 blah, and then he fucking turned one dude over, and you know what it was? One of his niggas. No, I was playing. It was pretty much like like pretty much he's fucking bucking at these fools and he's trying to get this fool out of here. Well, Bob Lazar, he gets fucking shot right in the fucking hand. Man. Boom, blows like his fucking like pretty much like 3 of his fingers off. Pew, pew, yeah, exactly. Some crazy shit's going down, and he throws his ass in the elevator. He goes up, and the Marine dies. He got all fucked up. Everyone died but him. That's a literal. But that was the whole point. Like, those dudes were there for that. Like, some shit like that to happen. So now he's going...
They were ready.
Yeah.
They were ready for that.
They were like... Because, like, they were like, all right, these dudes are cool, but they're super, like, don't fuck with our kids. And I don't know if he's full of slapped one of them little bastards or something. I don't know really what. I don't know how... I need to rewatch the documentary. I watched parts of it because back in the day when I was, like, really in...
Yeah, like, what was the reason... What was the reason
he just said that something happened
for smacking a tall white,
and he like he didn't say he hit he like bumped into something happened, but they're like more frail too. Like if you like pushed one of them or like flicked them hard enough, it probably bruised hella hard, you know. And they take I guess
his brain shattered like
yeah, like I guess he hit him, and it takes a long time for them to heal. So like something happened. Anyway, so this one gets up, his fingers all shot the fuck off. You know, he's all fucked up. He's just like, yo, everyone's dead. The whole platoon's dead. And they're like, all right, well, dude, all right, we're going to patch you up. You can't talk about this. Those dudes, they signed an affidavit saying that if they died, they died. They don't know we don't know what happened to them. You know? And that's when he started, like, tripping out, like, holy shit, like, that's how, like, serious this is, where it's like, if I were to die and get killed by these aliens, they would never, like, they would just be like, this motherfucker got lost. Dead. MIA. Killed in action. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, dude.
It's not their fault.
Yeah, and that's when he came out and he was talking about this shit. And the problem about him is that, like, once the government had him, like, in the system and shit, they could erase shit, you know? Like, so they were saying that this fool, like, never graduated college. Like, he never got a degree. He never, like, he was never at the base. All that shit's fake. You know what I mean?
Damn.
But you know what? Who gets to decide that? They have the records. All they had to do was deny it. No, that never happened. No. We never seen this motherfucker. We never seen this motherfucker in our life. Who is this mother? This guy's just a crazy man that cut off his own fingers. They were saying shit like that. Like, he was like, nah, this guy, you know what I mean? And he had, like, as much proof as you could give.
This guy, Alex Jones in the round. He's Alex Jones in the round. No one believes him. You're too extreme. You cut off your finger for us to believe you, and you probably failed a polygraph. No one.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like,
anymore.
So, like, this dude's, like, going all over saying this shit. All over it. No one's believed. Because, like, the problem is it's like, this is the first whistleblower that literally had face-to-face contact and all that shit. But everything he said was discredited with, like, the fullest, like, fucking, you know what I mean? All media ran that this fool was crazy. Damn. All media ran that he was, like, nuts. But his story is always the same. Nothing ever deviates. There's never a change. The only problem is that they could never really find his, like, degrees in physics and shit. And, like, people, like, dude, it's not, you know, you say it'd be that, like, imagine going to school, like, you're St. Anthony's, right? And then you remember that kid.
Whoop, whoop.
And you have him in your yearbook. But, like, people were like, that kid never existed. And you're like, what? He's right fucking here. Oh, he didn't. And then he's trying to prove it.
Well, then, then I'm crazy. I was like, either they're crazy or I'm
No,
crazy.
well, that's the whole
We
point.
both
Like,
can't be right.
they like had like erased the records of him actually going to school, and then like there's people that saying, yeah, I went to school with that guy, but no one really could prove that he got a degree in physics, that he did this. You know what I'm saying? Because that's shit that you would only have. Why would your friends have that? You know? So they're
True.
like, all right, so it was like, why would we hire you? You're not even like a credible person, and like, why would we need you? That's stupid. Like, you know what I mean? You're fucking tripping. That never happened, and like all this shit. You know what I mean? It's a crazy story. Bob Lazar was one of like
Man.
those ones that's like, you really got to think about it. It's like that's like the first time it's like suppression of like someone's story would be that easy because like especially back in the day, there's no this motherfucker had to like make an old like a documentary about him. Not a documentary, like pretty much like a he'd go and do speeches about it, right? Telling the story.
Like what, colleges and shit like that? Universities?
Yeah, you know what I'm
or
saying. Any place that
talks,
could
little
that
TED
would take
Talks?
him really, but I mean, doesn't even matter.
Okay.
I mean, you have no proof because it's not like he took something. This is all just like I said, like we were talking about earlier. Even if someone was there and seen the shit, bro, 100%, no one would believe him.
Filmed it correctly.
You know what I mean?
No one's gonna believe.
No one's gonna believe you.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is
Unfortunately.
that no one's gonna believe you. That some fucking asshole is gonna take your story, make it into a movie, make millions of dollars, and then make you look even stupider. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now
that was a video. That was a movie.
Now you tell that story and say, "Oh, it's like that movie," and you're like, "Nah, motherfucker, that's my life." Nah, I seen that movie, dude. You know, you're like, "Bro, that was my life." No, that really happened. Nah, yeah, whatever, dude, whatever, guy.
I really did get penetrated by a tall white. I swear to God.
That's what.
I
Yeah,
swear
let's try to
God.
sexually assault one of them tall whites. That's what really happened and shit. Got all those Marines killed.
Hey, no, in fucking Independence Day when he was talking to him, when he interviewed the guy who said he got he got into like an involvement or whatever, he got abducted by aliens, and his friends were getting interviewed at the restaurant. He's like, they said they took him up there and abused them sexually.
I know, that's fucked up. That was so fucked up.
So serious too.
So what they do to you when you were up there, huh? Did they do anything sexual?
Did they get-
It's funny too because they kept talking about that like they were like jealous a little bit. What's up with that?
Oh, you got abused sexually.
know.
Sexually.
That's fucking up, dude. Well, no, yeah, that's one of the bigger things. It's like when I think of like UFO conspiracies and shit.
I do think they do that
What?
though. I saw a video even today when I was like doing a little research to gloss my brain cells over this. It was about some guy who got captured with these three dudes on a farm or doing some shit, and they were doing something. I forgot what it was, but they were out there about to leave, and then they see this big blue green light come from this object in the sky, and then one of their dumbass friends fucking starts running towards the light, chasing the UFO thingy, and they're like, "Hey, no, like come back." He doesn't come back. He gets swooped up there. His friends jump in the car and take off. They're like, "Fuck that, I'm out
Yeah.
of here." And fucking supposedly he got up there. There's like these fucking 3-4 alien looking things. They had a space suit on and all that. They took him to they took him up there. It's like a big ass white room. They just made noises like grunts and shit like that to communicate. They took his clothes off. They basically forced him to take. They kind of like made him took his clothes off without like messing it up or anything like that. I don't know why that was a part of the details. Or like they took it off, but politely. And so he's like butt ass naked. And then they introduce like some humanoid looking alien thing, and she has like, I guess like perfect titties, perfect ass, but like something looks off about her. You could tell like she's obviously an alien.
Yeah.
And then like through like a gas vent or whatever, like some type of gas comes out, which is thought of to probably be like a aphrodisiac type shit. And then I guess he blanks out. He just has sex with this alien, and then they're about to like send him back, so they give him his clothes and all that. And he tried to steal an instrument. He tried to steal something from the UFO so he could have proof. And then one of the aliens got like hella mad at him, and like I guess like got a little more forceful with him. And then like they just sent him back. And like when they found him, like he had like 2 dots under his chin. He was all fucked up, and like he has an 8. And they ran a test on him, like blood work, and you could tell like, oh, like something like he didn't eat or something, because like this is metabolized. His fat would have been like metabolizing. His friends called the cops and made their stories, and they were all like kind of crying and like distraught. And the whole time the cop was like, I don't know if they were lying or not, because if they were acting, these are some really damn good ass actors, some Leo DiCaprio type
Yeah,
shit.
right.
And
We have like 4 Denzels here.
yeah, so the three, we got 4 of them operating on fucking great on some training day shit. No, but they go back and they put a polygraph to 3 of the dudes, and the 3 dudes they passed the polygraph. But then when they polygraphed the main guy on a show, I guess it was like some popular show, like like one of those game shows, I guess it was, where it's like, oh, like tell the truth type shit. I forgot what it's called. Like, well, anyway, he was on one of those, and he didn't answer it. It was like a game show, and of course he probably got nervous and other factors. But yeah, they said he lied on that, which I think now that I'm telling it out loud, what if he was paid to go on that show nationally, say what he just said, and then they just like purposely misread the lie detector
No,
thing.
for
like,
sure.
Ooh, sorry.
No, for sure.
It looks like that was a lie.
They make the machine, bro. They made the machine.
Ooh,
it's like,
yeah.
no, it's not like there was like another source.
They're the only ones who know how to read it.
No, they have access. They could be like, all right, look, this is what you do. You set it up for if he fucking tells the truth, it says it's lying. Boom. Simple as that. Simple as that.
That's true.
Because for example, on that movie The Rock, the dude had motion sensors, and he's like, "Nah, I made these so they're fucking opposite. So the way you fucking would kill a motion sensor thingy is to like use the fucking mirrors to move the light on it, right? So what he did is he made an anti thing where it's just like if you move the fucking lasers and use mirrors, it goes off. You know what I'm saying? So that's the same thing. It's like they have the technology to do that, and especially now they're gonna they have so in that instance they have the technology not only to change it, now they had a fucking chance to disprove this guy. You know what I mean? Make him seem stupid. And it only takes one fucking time for the whole world to be like, all right, this guy's a retard. Fuck it. Over. We don't care. It's over.
Over
right,
it.
No, you know how fast, dude, how fast people forget. This guy was, I mean.
Anyway, in other news, we got a surfing squirrel. Like, whoa, look at him hit them waves, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, so, all right, so, like, I mean, you already heard about, like how these USAF officers about, like, 70 years ago, Cold War type-ish, where they simultaneously disabled 2 nuclear bases.
I think that happened. That happened years ago, right?
Dude. No, yeah, but I guess I guess it's happened a few times, quite a few times.
Yeah.
Aside from the 1947 shit, like, I guess they found out somehow that we had nukes, and they just like came down, disabled it, left.
Yeah.
And it's actually was labeled a national security because they didn't know if it was them, if it was like maybe the Russians trying to take it out. They don't know what it is. You have to investigate everything. I mean,
well, yeah, because that
there was a damn weather balloon floating around a while ago that everybody was making a bunch of hoopla over.
Yeah. Well, no, that's another thing too. It's like that story you're talking about was embedded in that Men in Black movie. So on the third one, that's
probably why they made Men in Black.
I don't know if you remember, there was like that one not much. So there was a picture of a spaceman, right? And it was a picture of one of a bomb test where they were taking pictures, and for some reason on one of the fucking frames there was like a spaceman. And they couldn't figure out why. It was just taking pictures. It was just, one of those cameras that's like, you know what I mean? So it's like taking pictures of every second. Yeah, I'm trying to recall, yeah. So it's just taking pictures of every second. So out of nowhere,
frame by frame,
this fucking this orb comes, and then in the frame, and then the orb comes, shows the spaceman, and then the next frame is gone, and then the fucking bombs were disabled. And then same thing, they were saying that it's like during the Cold War, so they were like, it must have been the Russians. They didn't know what was going on, but it was just like it could have just been. And on the movie, it was the Men in Black that disabled it because it was like it was like some crazy shit. Yeah. And but that's the whole point. It's like now it's embedded in the media that shit's fake.
But Men in Black did have aliens working with them,
No, for sure.
like the good aliens.
Well, no,
Like they were like it was an intergalactic type of
that's what I'm
thing
saying. That's why, like,
ish.
um, I was talking about earlier. There's a Israeli fucking chief of staff for their fucking their space division guy, right? So in
Yeah.
December 2020, mid a pandemic, this fool claims in an interview that the U.S. government has been contract, but with extraterrestrial life for years, and the contract is like a secret agreement with supposedly something called the Galactic Federation, in order to do experiments on Earth with a joint underground base on Mars that they would collaborate with U.S. astronauts. So, and it's also stated that the
Okay.
U.S. President Donald Trump was aware of this and was on the verge of informing everyone about the Galactic Federation, but was stopped because they wanted to prevent mass hysteria. He was going to be supposedly one of the first presidents to actually talk about it openly. You know what I mean? And he said it out of
With what
nowhere.
president?
You know,
With what president?
Trump was going to be the first person to tell us about it.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, yeah, okay, yeah,
You
okay,
know what
yeah,
I
okay,
mean?
okay. Damn, bro. That's why he took them files home, man. Nigga was trying to study. They made a big deal about him taking home files, bro. Like, how you get in trouble for taking work
You
home with
can't
you?
do that shit,
Like, what
bro.
the fuck?
That's why on
He took,
fucking Independence
I
Day.
mean, he should just take
That's why on
pictures.
Independence Day that CIA guy was like, "Dude, we couldn't tell you. Like, we couldn't tell you because if we told you,
Plausible
you're
deniability.
you're too good of a guy. Your dumb ass would have told everybody. We can't have that mass hysteria, like I was saying. Like, you know what I mean? And then they were talking about it like how they were like they're not too sure if he was just trying to like because he was retiring, so they kind of chopped it up as like, oh, this is just some old fart shit.
Yeah, the retired CIA,
But he's like,
but he
no,
didn't tell
like,
them when
hey,
when it first happened.
he's like, I may be old.
He didn't tell them at all when it first landed.
He's like, I know I may be old,
Yeah.
but this is real shit. And then, and like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, people were talking about how he went too far. He shouldn't have said shit. And then, like, you know what I'm saying? And like,
Yeah, people
he
died.
he's pretty much like, they pretty much were like, he should have just shut the fuck up about that and just took it to the grave.
Damn.
Yeah, because it just
Damn,
stirred
you
up
should
a lot
pretend
of
like you didn't
shit,
know.
especially because it was like if it was you know what it was. It was like when Kanye said that fucking Bush doesn't care about black people.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like it was just so
yeah.
out of the fucking nowhere. It was so like
Low key, you hit the nail on the head with that
yeah,
one. With Kanye, the two examples, Kanye and Trump, they both said some very, very, very real shit. Like that's super real. They acknowledge some real
yeah,
shit. But then all it takes is that one comment like that, or all the many comments Trump's made, or Kanye saying about Jews and shit like that, so everybody could discredit everything.
yeah,
You get one thing wrong out of 10 things you've gotten right. The whole world looks at you as an imbecile and they can't trust you anymore. It's like a guy who tells the truth all the time and then you lie. And then you get called out for being a liar. Now everything you've ever said that was true is gonna be looked at like, maybe that was a lie. Maybe that's not true either. Pulling the wool over our eyes, you know?
yeah,
Because people inherently, I learned this from Sophie Devereaux on an episode of Leverage. People inherently want to believe anything at face value. We're trained and taught to not believe. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it's just in our nature to just go with the flow, than to go against it. You know, swim with the current rather than against the current.
Sure.
But hey,
No, but
what do we know? We're just two guys.
yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, there's all this information. You got to
Man.
pretty much like take everything with a grain of salt. Even that thing with the Bob Lazar, there's so much evidence about him like not being like a physicist and being like a self-proclaimed physicist, and there's just like all this shit, but a lot of his shit's redacted in like his like employment history because he was contracted by the government. So even if they were contracted to like build a big ass fucking hole, you know what I mean? What was he saying? If it was true, they figured out a way to shut him up. If it's not true, it's just who cares? It was some guy. But that's up to you, kind of like you to believe, put things together and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of fucking crazy shit he said. You know what I mean? And he was hell of knowledge. Even if he was just lying, bro, that's too much to lie about. And then always
No, it's a whole lot of confirmation bias where people just cherry pick and they pick and choose which parts of the information they want to believe, and somehow they'll both walk away from the same argument thinking they're both right when they're on two different sides of the spectrum. It's like you just gotta take the whole damn pie. Don't eat slices of it.
yeah.
Like, check everything out, man. Like, come on, man.
No, yeah, and then it's like
Look it up yourself.
as soon as this dude like started like really picking up traction, like he started fucking like he randomly got arrested for supposedly aiding and abetting a prostitution ring. And it was like hella,
That
like
don't
it was
happen
hella
every day.
weird. Like, and then he got like in trouble for like substance abuse or some shit. Like all this weird shit, like shit that like he never had like got in trouble. You know what I mean? Just
Damn.
it's kind of like they were like, oh yeah, dude, we got to take this motherfucker down. Like even though,
Sprinkle some crack on them. And
yeah,
let's go,
pretty
Tom.
much. Because why not? Yeah, I mean, this guy was talking shit and he fucking said too much, and it's the way shit goes, man. But no,
Just like they did Dave Chappelle. Shut him up real quick. Just accuse him of being a crackhead. Boom.
yeah, bro. But like really.
Gone.
Since we're talking more about like Bob Lazar and shit like that, so we gotta talk about like the original like Project Blue Book, which was like finally
Project
in 2020 they were. That's another thing that was covered up. Project Blue Book. They finally said that shit was real. You know what?
See, I personally haven't heard that until you brought it up earlier, like when we were talking before
Yeah.
this, because I thought you were trying to say Project Blue Beam. I'm familiar with Project Blue
Yeah.
Beam, but I guess there's a Project Blue Book.
So-
what's
So
that?
Project Blue Book is essentially just the X-Files.
Yes,